We had a little hiccup there, but hopefully this is working. Now you most likely will hear the dogs barking. So I'm looking over in OBS. The flames are still going. They're still going. There we go. Yeah. Now since so one thing that I've learned that, and we are live right now. One thing that I've learned about content creation is that, hang on, is that the majority of the time, the vast majority of the time that you do things, whether you do it right or wrong or whatever, most of the time people are going to think that your mistakes were done on purpose. You might edit something in and you might have your sound pad window open and people are going to think that you're doing that on purpose. And your edits might not be quite right. So that's one of the things that I've noticed that a lot of people that makes content creation difficult. One of the things I noticed about a lot of your videos is there's a lot of attention to detail. For example, like the plane in one of the compilations, you're on a plane and it shows a plane taking off, and that implementation really sets it up more like a sitcom, like Seinfeld or something. Even though I'm not a big Seinfeld fan, I felt that having the cutaway to the plane taking off, I thought that was really cool. I like the zoom ins whenever you have like a reaction, like "Whoa, what's that?" or "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Where like shit will cut to black and white. I think that's really cool. I mean, I need to get back into doing it, but I've been so busy with my streams and stuff. My streams and my videos. So like, what are some of your inspirations? Does it come from like other YouTubers or like TV shows that you liked growing up, or
yeah,
what?
it does, because what I do is I spend half the time now on TikTok looking up like different like videos and something. If something makes me laugh, and I have like the encouragement to like press the heart button on that video, I'll probably make it into some sort of form in VR. The only problem is like finding the right avatars, finding the right stages, finding the right worlds, and
Yeah, I
finding
get
the
it.
people to
Yes.
be in those avatars. So it's like if you don't have a lot of those factors, then you can't really make something decent like that. However, if it's something where like there's only two parties involved, or even three, you take like one cut of yourself, be like, okay, one line of dialogue, and then you go to another line of dialogue, assume another avatar, do another line of dialogue, and then you can, do it that way. A lot of TikToks are like that. I get inspiration from also YouTube, like YouTube Shorts. Kind of
Right.
similar. If I see something funny on there, it's just like, can I port that into VR? Like, can I do that in the VRChat? Because if I can't, then I move on to something else. So it's more like that, and a lot of times that's the case where like I see something really funny. I can't do anything with it. I can laugh at it, I can like it, but like
Right.
if I don't have the resources in VRChat, I can't remake it in here. Um, that's what I've been doing lately, and I really like it. I really like it because there's some people that are just so much more funnier than I am, and I copy them. So
No, that's cool.
I
That's
kind of
smart.
yeah, yeah.
One of my favorite musical artists, uh, Villavallo, he does the band Him, and he said in an interview is that him and the rest of the guys try to rip off all of their favorites, all their favorite musicians and stuff, and there's no shame in that. One for one. Even Robin Williams. Oh, I need to probably take off one of these trackers. Even Robin Williams, even he is known to blatantly one for one take inspiration or just literally rip people off. So there's no shame in that. If it works, it works. Like it's great. I think it's great, and I really like your editing skills. I think your editing skills are really good.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait. To be fair, like earlier on, I was sending a lot of my video footage to like a couple different editors, some that I found on Fiverr, some that I found on VRChat that wanted to do that. So I can't take the credit for that. Lately, I can like doing like that Darth Vader like music video or doing like
Yeah,
the
I saw
airline
that.
stuff
I didn't
like
watch
that.
it, but I
did,
saw.
I was that was me just because like I found something that was like really dumb and user friendly for someone like me to use, and it's not really complicated like Adobe Premiere Pro. And that's why I started editing my own videos because like it, if someone makes a website that's really simple to use and they make the software really easy to use and user friendly, I will give it a shot. And luckily I found something called Veed or VED, and
Yeah.
it's been working out for me. You pay like a monthly subscription, they give you to this like this website, and then they give you all the tools that you need. They put it in a really nice user format, and then you can edit your own video. So I want to keep editing my own videos because one, it saves a lot of money, and two, like I can put my own tastes into the stuff that I like and then the stuff that I push out, right? And that was a problem for me before. I'm still gonna like send off raw videos to editors and stuff like that. But as far as like something that I want to work on, I have the opportunity to do it now, and it's really nice.
I mean, like, so how does that work exactly? Do you? I got a bottle of water. It's gonna fuck up my tracking. Um, so when you do that, I mean, what does that work? So, like, you send like an hour's worth of footage to them, and they just cut out to the highlights, or what?
Yeah, sort of. So like in a compilation video, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go into the Great Pug. I have the VRC camera pointed at me. I go and I talk with random people, and some of those moments are really funny. And they take like maybe 20 minutes of me talking with that person. They cut out all the way down to like 2 or 3 minutes of like the funniest parts. They put that in with like effects, subtitles, some cultural references, and then that gets added on to like a list of other videos that were really great. And yeah, so yeah, it is like you take like a big raw file and you just smush it like right there, and then that's your content.
Damn, because that's that. I mean, you don't create worlds, right? So you just do video content.
No, yeah. I just do video content.
Because I tell you, it is fucking rough. It is rough. Fucking having to post shit on Twitter, posting fucking like I just got my first patron. Like I'm like, oh hey, let me go check out my Patreon. Sure as shit, the one day I decide to check my Patreon, somebody shows up. So I put a specific poster or a specific sandwich board just for that one person in my world, and it's really hard.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes you to edit a video. Maybe you could help me out with that.
Um, editing a video or
You know, like how long does it
getting like
take
the
you to edit a
initial.
video? Like you personally, to edit like an hour-long video down to like 10, 20 minutes
Well,
or less.
it kind of depends on how much raw footage that you're dealing with, because if it's a lot, then yeah, it's gonna take longer. But if you fucking just ingest caffeine and you go to town and you don't have to work or anything and sit at the computer and play like your favorite music and just go to town, like
Hmm.
I can hammer an hour worth of raw footage into 3 or 4 minutes in about 2 hours.
Right. All right. That sounds about right.
So yeah, so like I you just get into the rhythm.
You're right.
You
You're
get into the
right.
rhythm of editing, and then you because like it's also a learning process,
It
right?
is. Yeah.
So I started editing my own videos like maybe a week ago, like a week
Shit.
and a half ago. This is relatively, yeah, this is new for me because editors are getting expensive. On Fiverr, the guy that I had doing all my videos, like he bumped up his rates. Instead of like doing what is it, editing like 25-minute videos for $80, he now does
What?
$120. And it's like,
$80?
well, that's on the low end. That's on the low
Fucking
end. It just depends on
God! I could be. I
if you
could
want,
be
if
fucking
you
rich.
well, I mean, it depends. So like, if you work with programs such as Adobe After Effects, if you work with Premiere Pro, if you work with like Sony Vegas, like anything that's like, if you make the videos nice, if you make them like fancy, yeah, you can charge upwards of that. But for what I do, it's like it's bare bones minimum, and it's not really anything that requires too much sophistication. Maybe if it's like a more sophisticated video, it would be more. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's not, once it gets to a certain threshold where like, okay, my wallet's hurting. I need to learn how to do stuff
Mm-hmm.
because I can't continue that. I mean I make decent money being a truck driver, but I can't.
That's right. You drive
You know, it
trucks.
hurts the bank account.
Dude. Fucking. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think editing videos is good. A lot of people should do it. It really helps out with like troubleshooting and shit. And you might not be good. You might not be good at drawing. You might be okay. You might have a lot of good ideas and be okay at making worlds like me. I mean, I have a lot of good ideas when it comes to making worlds, but I mean, you can make art out of editing your videos. You can make actual art.
Yeah.
That compilation video was great. I think you're hilarious, and whomever edited that did a great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a guy I found on Fiverr, and fortunately his rates are cheap enough that I can afford it. But yeah, well, if you can't do something, then have someone else help you, and then if you can learn from them on how to do something, then try to. If not, then just continue to do what works and just continue to get the help until you feel comfortable that you're at that point. Um, you don't have to tackle everything yourself. I mean, it's nice to. It's definitely way cheaper to if you can.
It is, yeah.
But I I wanted to save money, and I'm starting to actually get comfortable like editing. So I'm at a good point right now. I have a lot of ideas, and I want to put them on paper, and then hopefully that paper comes into VRC footage, and then hopefully that VRC footage gets edited, and then hopefully I feel that it's okay enough to post on YouTube. So it goes through all these filters.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer like candid content, or do you prefer more like scripted content?
I like impromptu. I like candid. I like being in front of
Yeah.
people's faces and not knowing what I'm gonna say, because like those are the funniest reactions. Those are the most organic moments that you can have in VR. Scripted's great too. I'm not when I'm driving over the road, I get these ideas.
Right.
I put half of them on paper, and then half of that actually ends up in my videos. So it's like scripts are. I'm conflicted because I'm probably gonna get more into scripts later on, but
Right.
I feel like if you have something good to work with as far as scripts go, then you've got really good content. But as far as me, like I prefer like the impromptu, like in the spur of the moment, kind of like laugh with people, enjoy your time with people, and see what happens.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I dabbled with with the scripted content a couple of times in 2020, like late 2020. Long story short, the main guy, one of the main actors for a couple of the videos, disappeared for like 3 weeks. So I was trying to work at the Lolly Police Department, and in the end, it was so bad. I had a green screen somebody in to a VRChat video. I had a green screen him in. I mean, that's how that's how bad it got. But I hadn't really jacked with green screen that much, so it is a learning process, and it really helps you figure out improve your troubleshooting skills.
I want to get into green screen, but I'm not really familiar on how to do it. Because when you record in OBS and you record in VR, it's like two different things, and I don't know. I'll eventually learn how to do it. Because there's a lot of things you can do with a green screen. There's a lot.
There really is, especially in VR
funny
chat.
things you can do.
Yeah, especially in VR chat. And it's a lot easier to key out too because you don't have to deal with lighting issues. Kevin Smith. The reason why Clerks was in black and white is because he couldn't figure out how to get lighting right. He's like, "Fuck it," so I'll just do it all in black and white. That's a fun movie, Clerks. That's one of my big inspirations. What are some of your inspirations?
Really old footage on YouTube. Like, so I'm 31. I'm a millennial. So I spend half of my time on YouTube looking up like old content, like videos from 2008, 2006, like the Numa Numa guy that was dancing to what's it called? The Dragos. Yeah, like that. I get inspiration from stuff like that. I get inspiration from the Star Wars kid that was like, kind of like doing this with a lightsaber and then he like fell over.
Yeah.
I get inspiration from like Epic Sax guy. I get inspiration from anything that like gives me like a happy, good, euphoric feeling from old school videos like that. I get inspiration from that. Old YouTubers that are still making content today, like Oni NG, Psychic Pebbles, even Game Grumps. Like I get a little bit of inspiration from them too, because I used to watch her content. Like that was my early adulthood. Just like watching them, and as far as real life movies and stuff like that, like I was born and raised on YouTube, so I tend to get most of my like inspiration from YouTube.
What was the first YouTube video you ever watched?
Oh man,
Don't. There's no shame. No shame. Here, I'll warm.
I can't remember. I can't even remember. I like back in 2005, I think it was either Charlie Bit My Finger or I want to say like the one that I fell in love with wasn't the first one, but the one I fell in love with was Numa Numa. Like there was a kid, there was a fat kid that kind of looked like me. He had glasses, he had like a white T-shirt, and he was just jamming out to this like Romanian, this Moldovan band or whatever. And I was just like, that's me. And then like I would go to school, and then like other kids would call me like the Numa Numa guy because I kind of looked like him. Like I was chubby, I had glasses, I had his hair even. Like
he was on South Park.
Yeah, that too. I don't really remember the first video, but that is definitely my favorite video. So I'll just go ahead and count that as that.
I remember where I was the first time I watched a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah?
I was at a place called Game Forest in Longmont, Colorado. And these guys showed me this video of David Hasselhoff singing "I Can't Stop This Feeling." I can't stop this feeling. Ooh. And it had like his little girls in it and everything. And he was like riding on a motorcycle, and there was this weird alien dude bobbing up and down. It was a good time. Then I told somebody about it. I said, hey, you got to check out YouTube. So the guy typed in the letter U and then tube. And it was some kind of like HVAC sort of thing. It's funny.
Mm.
But I remember that Numa Numa. That thing, that was one of those big fucking videos. That was like around the time.
Because it was like one of the meme videos. It was an original classic. I think actually I kind of do remember the first video I watched. I was really heavily into World of Warcraft at the time. And this guy named Leroy Jenkins made a video on YouTube back in really late 2004, early 2005, and I think that was one of the first ones I watched, where him and a group of 9 other people were in this thing called a raid, and then he charged in immediately without anyone's knowledge and started pulling all these dragons. It wiped the entire group, killed everybody, and then at the end of it, he was like, "Well, at least I still have chicken." And that stuck with me. So I think that was one of the first ones, either early 2005 or late 2004.
Yeah, because I remember he was they were like talking and communicating. I think that the dude, he went away to go get some food or something. We have a 33.33%
chance, of course, surviving.
Yeah. And he left, and he came back. He just came back and just went and oh, Leroy Jenkins, which I think is from Saving Private Ryan. And so they went, and he charged in, and everybody fucking died. Everybody died. All of them. How many people there? It was 10, 15 people? It was a shit.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Did you ever play World of Warcraft?
Oh, I was addicted. I quit World of Warcraft to come to VRChat.
Damn, that's.
I was into Classic. Damn. 2019 and 2020, I was playing World of Warcraft. I was a Resto Shaman. I was healing people. I was decked out in full tier 2. Tier 1. Tier 2 is kind of bad, but yeah, I had my fun in the game. And even back in the day, 2004 all the way to 2010, I was really heavy into it. Some parts of the 2010s as well. And then once Classic came out, I was really, really heavy into it. Actually, there's a lot of people in VRChat that play World of Warcraft, or that used to play World of Warcraft, and they came over here because that game was a social outlet as much as this one is. And I feel like I've replaced addictions, and I'm kind of happy about it, honestly. Because I've done a lot of good things in this game where it's made me feel good for what I am, versus World of Warcraft. I've never in VRChat I've met over, I want to say 10 people in real life. In World of Warcraft, I've met only one person that I knew from a guild I was in real life, and it's just I don't know, I feel like my, in The Sims, you have a social meter, right?
Yeah,
for your sim.
Yeah.
If you don't meet that social meter, your sim gets really depressed. Your sim gets really, really sad and can't really function. Can't do normal things, right?
Right.
World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft had my social meter about like right here. VRChat has my social meter about like right here.
Is that
If that
filled
makes
or is
sense.
that like 50% or what?
That's like okay. So like the meter's like right here. VRChat's like right here, and then World of Warcraft is like right here. So it's pretty high up there as far as like my social needs of like being able to function as a human without having being trapped inside of a place for too long. I can talk to someone, like I can talk to you, and that helps my social meter.
So you got in late. When did you get into VR chat? In late
Late
2020?
2020.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was December 7th because I fell in love with this game and I uploaded my first video that night that I played. I was in a Russian server and
I
I
saw
saw
that.
Uganda Knuckles for the first time, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is magical. I need to upload." So here we are.
Damn, I wish I had. I think I do have recordings of one of my first nights. I remember. Oh yeah, one of the first avatars that I saw, probably the first avatar that I saw that wasn't one of my own, was somebody who was his avatar was the Christchurch shooter, and that is something insane
Ooh,
to see for your first
yeah,
avatar.
that is.
Like that was one of the first
Yeah.
ones, and one of the first people I met after that person who was where people I hung out with for a long time, and like some of my first videos, you see a lot of those people. I mean, I don't know how long you've stayed with your friend groups in VR chat.
I mean, I've been through a couple. I have definitely been through a couple because I needed to find where my mold was. I I had to find where my mold was. I was I wasn't used to having I wasn't used to the exposure that this game gives you because you're exposed to all different cultures, all different races, all different age groups in different places. Like, and I started friending everyone, and that was a big mistake. And I've gone through a bunch of purges. I've had to, uh, for me to continue to play this game, and for I don't know, for them to not be near me. So, like like when you're friendly and you want to like friend somebody, and they're like, "Oh, you're so cool, I want to friend you," blah blah blah, and then, oh well, they're on orange status. Request invite. Oh, okay. I'll hit them next time. Request invite. Oh, it's kind of all right. Request invite. Oh, all right. I'm getting kind of request. Wait about 2-3 months of like requesting invite off of this person almost every day, right? And they never gone unfriend. There's no
Yeah,
what's the point?
it's dark. It's
What's the point?
sad. It really is. It's sad. I
It's
mean,
what's the point? Like, oh, they fell in love with you the moment that like, oh, you were in a like you were funny this moment, and like now it's like I can never join off of you, or I can't like I don't know. I love this game, but I love the social aspect of it too because you could write science novels about it, you know?
you
Huh.
really could. It's sad, man, because you go and you look back at all these people you would hang out with all the time, and they're just gone. And you look at them on Discord, and they're just very aloof.
Well, see, that's also the thing about content creation is that like if they're in your videos, that's history right there that you can look back at it, and no matter what time of day you're in or like how far into the future, you still have them on video. It's like, oh yeah, I remember hanging out with that person, and the times were good, and then the times weren't so good, and in those not so good times, well, we had our differences, and now bridges are burnt, but at least they're still there on video format on a YouTube channel,
What do you think that
which I
says
think is
about society?
interesting.
I mean, like just being able to like move away from someone and never
Um,
speak to them again so easily.
I think I think it's interesting to have like a memory that's there, but it's also something that you can acknowledge and be like, hey, well, uh, we had fun while it lasted, but I mean, nothing lasts forever. You know?
Yeah, I was looking at George Lucas, uh, and a video he did, and he said something like, throughout your life, there's gonna be uh, that things and people that you love, that you really enjoy experiencing and enjoy being around. And one day all those people may be gone out of your life forever, and it sucks. It hurts. It's really sad. You might have like a video that you and your little brother or something you love watching, and you forget to save it, and it's gone forever. You know,
Yeah.
and that's just a big moment in your life that you can never experience again. But you know you shouldn't be sad because these things it's just a part of life. You should just try to cherish that time that you had and uh, just be happy that you got to experience that and that thing or that times with those people. And I think
Mm.
that VR chat is weird because you can just so easily move on to a different friend group. But there's still that
That's true.
Pavlovian effect from it's my dog. That's still that Pavlovian effect of hearing that person's voice and them come running up and them doing their bit, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but
Mm.
it's crazy that the interactions that VR chat affords you. I mean, I heard about it from YouTube videos. I mean, is that where you heard about it from?
About what?
VR
What are
chat.
we? Oh, yeah. So, I remember, I remember back in 2017, there was Oni had posted a video about being like this meat creature, this meat boy, and
Yeah,
he
right.
was in a great pug, and he was making friends with everybody. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. It's a shame I don't have a VR headset because I can't play VR chat. No one told me that you could go on desktop and play this game. No one told me. No one told me that. Otherwise, I would have been here much, much earlier, and I probably wouldn't have relapsed to World of Warcraft again. No one told me that until I found out, like, late 2020. I remember wanting to quit World of Warcraft. I remember like wanting to get out of it, and I was like, oh, I see VR chat on Steam. Huh, okay, and it says non-VR mode. What does that mean? Click on it. Oh my god, I'm on desktop. I'm playing VR chat on desktop. No one
Right.
told me that.
Yeah.
No one told me that. You would get so many more people in this game if they would just advertise that, hey, you don't need a VR headset to play this, even though this is the best advertisement for getting a VR headset. They don't tell you that. It's bad marketing on VR chat. It really is because I have one, two, three, four, five, three Vive trackers, four base stations, a Valve Index, controllers, a nice computer. I mean everything. Like the Index was 1,000. The trackers were two, three, like five, 600. Right. I've spent $1,600 on this game so far, and that's
Right.
not including all the thing. It's not including all the VRC subscriptions that I've given to people. That's not including all the commissions that I bought from people in this game. That's not including like just there's like I've dumped this game I have dumped more money into than any other game in my life ever.
Yeah, right.
In the history of me living, and I play video games like every day. This this is this is a good money pit. This is the best money pit I've ever dropped a lot of money in. And I wish like the head honchos up there would just advertise people to come in and say, hey, it's okay to come in on desktop because we can expose you to something that's wonderful, and they just don't. And so I got, I guess, I don't know, in my thought process I got lucky and I hit the jackpot, and here I am.
So how do you find time? You do trucking, right? You do long distance trucking
Yeah.
or just like shipping or what?
Uh, no, I had to do um over the road trucking for about 2 years off and on, and I eventually found FedEx, and they have a schedule where like you can either work 4 nights and get 3 nights off, or you can work like 5 days partially and still make decent money, and you're home like a good chunk of the time. I work like maybe 35, 36 hours, and the money's decent, and the type of work isn't as stressful as it could be, and my bosses are pretty cool, and they're good with like covering shifts if I need to get days off, and it's nice. It's really nice to actually let me change outputs for you. There we go. Boom. Oh,
Oh
okay,
shit.
never mind. Let's never mind. That's all white. I think it's this world.
Well, damn.
Yeah, that's okay though. But yeah,
How long you been doing shipping?
uh, like trucking or like
Yeah,
working for
trucking
FedEx.
just trucking in general.
Trucking in general have been on and off for about since 2016, so for about 6 years. I got my CDL back in 2016. I got sick of Starbucks. I wanted something different. My coworker was like, "Well, you know what? I'm tired of making only 400, $500 like every 2 weeks. I want to make more money and I want to move out and get my own life." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll watch you from behind and I'll be like, okay, well, let's see how you do." About a month later, he got a CDL and he was already over the road. He was already like trucking across the United States. And I'm like, okay. Then I waited a little bit, and then he sent me PDF files and text messages of his paycheck, and I'm like, $700, $800 a week. That's pretty good. He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. You should give this a try. I'm like, oh, okay. So I put in my 2 weeks at Starbucks. I went to this trucking school for about a month, got my CDL, and then there I was. I was doing the same thing, and I went through about 2 years of hell trying to jump between jobs because trucking's stressful. It's a very stressful industry, and I don't recommend it for anybody. Um, I've seen a lot of things over the road, and I'm glad I don't have to see those things over the road anymore. um, and yeah, and about job hopping between A, B, and C, I finally found something that works, and I really like it. I think FedEx is a great employer if you're a truck driver. Not for other positions there. They don't seem to care, but
No,
for
they
truck
don't.
drivers,
They definitely don't. Those
yeah.
shipping
Yeah.
companies aren't pretty much. Most people are expendable at those companies. Most people. To
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. That's why the turnover rate's kind of high. But
It kind of. It's
yeah.
like it's pretty astronomical. It's it's messed up. Um, so you must find you must. It looks like you really squeeze a lot of time in to be able to
I
do
have a lot of free
VRChat.
time. I have a lot of free time to do this. I mean, I have to my mother's like kind of elderly. I have to take care of her. But like there I find a lot of time to spend in VR, and it's kept me from going insane, and I'm really really happy I'm not playing World of Warcraft right now. I can just say that. Because I am not making World of Warcraft content. It's not, no, it's too much. There's no reason for it.
And it sounds like you really don't want to go back. Like you liked it, but it's just not.
I don't like. There's people I know there's people I know that want me back, and I'm perfectly content here. I message them on Discord. They message me, and we have a conversation or once in a while. But they know I like it here. They know like this is my home. This is you don't I don't want to go away from this. Like this is too good. Like I got it good here. Don't mess with a good thing. Don't fix something that isn't broken.
Yeah, man. What do you think of the easy anti-cheat?
um, I'll tell you one thing. I haven't crashed. I haven't crashed since they implemented it, and I'm not a fan of how the team kind of put all these like additions into the game after everyone made such a big fuss about it. I think that was really bad PR.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they wouldn't have lost as many players to Chill Out VR and EOS VR. But as far as it goes, the only thing I really miss from it since the implementation of the anti-cheat is the avatar search in EMM. You were able to like look up different avatars, and for me as a content creator, I like having that access because if I want to make something about, let's say, getting a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, okay, I need person A, person B. I need a Dunkin' Donuts worker. I need like a manager, which I already have because I have the tie on, so that works there. I need someone with a headset. So I mean, the EMM, like the avatar search thing in there, would help you find everything that you needed to
Right.
make a scripted event like this. And without that, I feel like it's a lot harder for people to do the things that they were doing. And I feel like if
Yeah.
VRChat implemented something where like you could just look up an avatar in the menu, or at least go to the world where that avatar is currently residing, it would be a big help. Because without it, it makes things a little difficult to do. Now
That's
they
true.
added personal mirror. They added like you know stuff for full body, IK tweaks. They added a bunch of things, and that's great. But it's with VRChat's own like twists and tastes in it, and I'm not really keen on that because I kind of miss EMM did things where how do I say this? So like the personal mirror, right? The personal mirror in EMM, I think it had a personal mirror, or maybe it was another add-on. Like you could grab it, and it was like it felt good to grab. The one in VRChat it feels like a block. It feels too blocky, and it feels like it doesn't feel as maneuverable. It's not as convenient, even though it is on the radial menu. Whereas in EMM, you just click, click, and then boom, it's right there. Um, I kind of miss it. I kind of miss it, but I'm okay without it. I can't speak for a lot of other people though that are, you know, that are down in the dumps about it. For me, I'm okay. I wish I could have access to it still. I wish there was fly mode. I wish like I could teleport to people. Some worlds have the implement that some worlds implement teleport. Um, but it's just something you gotta say goodbye to.
Yeah,
You know?
man. But I gotta say, you're right on that shit. When I did VRChat court, I had to ask people for avatars that they had.
Exactly. And that's like you could save so much more time, and you could do so much more if you just had the ease of access of having it, and they took that away. And it's really disappointing. It really is.
I don't know if you've seen that one world that has where you can look avatars up. It's a bit
Oh,
scrungly.
Duelish, the where the Christmas tree is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I had to go there for my Darth Vader video. I would not have been able to do that video without that world open and without me without someone telling me about it.
Yeah, I forget
I
what the
wouldn't have been able to do it.
passcode is. Passcode's in the world somewhere.
0042. I think it's no, or maybe it is. It's 0042 or 0046. I think it's 0042, and you hit enter, and then a little white ball appears, and you teleport. You can just mess with the keyboard there. But the problem with that world is that world only has avatars going up to I think 2019 or 2020, and anything after that is like you can't find anything else because the database is like it's legacy. It's ancient. There's if it doesn't exist like prior to 2019, then you won't find it. Like it's almost 2023 now. There's a way more avatars in VRChat than there were before in 4 years, and it's a shame that we don't have access to that. I mean, we do. We just have to find the worlds for it. But where am I going to find like a very specific avatar? Like you can't type that into the world search menu. You're not going to find it.
Right.
It's just I've spent hours doing this. I've spent hours doing this. I've spent hours like looking into the menu and trying to find where exactly I can find like the right avatar. And you can't find it. And that I think is one of the most crucial things that the devs took away that really disabled a lot of people from making content.
Yeah, that really
Yeah,
sucks.
I would have been screwed.
Yeah, I mean, not being able to find avatars, especially if you're doing a sketch, is rough.
Yeah, it is.
I got lucky for all my scripted videos. Well, for VRChat Court, I use a lot of the default VRChat avatars, just a lot of the basic, the most popular ones that there were, which is kind of the bit because everybody knows these avatars or characters. They've seen them around. You've seen the meme, right? You've seen the meme where it's got Hank Hill figurine surrounded by anime girls. You know, so it says every VR. That used to be true. It said every VRChat server. That's what it used to be. Like Uganda Knuckles and Hank Hill. That was back in the 2020s and before. I mean, maybe it looks like you might have caught the end of the Uganda Knuckles fad.
Yeah, there were still people doing it when I hopped into VRChat for the first time. It was nice. But now we're on to bigger and better things, I guess.
I don't even know.
Well, not really, but
I don't even know what the meme is. Now I think there's so many people creating stuff that there's not really like one big thing. I don't really watch, other than like yours. I don't really watch a lot of VRChat content because I'm so busy making my own. I don't.
I watch a little bit of others just to see what they're doing and be like, oh, that's really interesting they're how they're doing that. Like in scene transitions or how they record themselves or like what scripts they're running or
Yeah.
how they act with others and okay, that is really fascinating. Um, I can't think of any examples right now because my mind is racing, but well, okay, take for example, Cyberchimp.
All right, right.
Cyberchimp, what he does, right, is I love the way he does this. At the beginning of every video that he has on YouTube, he has like a little intro, a little introductory thing to display and showcase what avatar he's going to be using to, hang out with his friends. And and like it's so creative how he scripts it and how he implements it, and then he jumps from that recording to the mainstream to the Twitch, and it's such a good transition, and it gives his audience like an idea of like what they're in for. Okay, here's a really spooky avatar, or like here's a really a really funny avatar, and it's the Russian guy that like does the dance or whatever, right? Or like the chest puffed down and he's like walking or whatever. Like I think he had one of those. Either that or Lalathon had one of those, and he makes a little video for it. It's like, okay, and this is what you can expect, and then you see people's reactions from it, and then people subscribe because it's good content.
You said it's a cyber chimp, huh? I don't know
Yeah,
that
Cyberchimp.
Russian guy you're talking about. What meme is that?
It's the guy, Professor Dr. Livingston, or I think his name is.
Professor Livingston.
It's like
Dr.
he's like a
Livingston?
Russian. Yeah, he's got like imagine like an 18th century like red coat but with green, uh, with like a wig, like a powdered wig.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, like Revolutionary War kind of like, and he kind of looks like that. But he's Russian and he has like a green coat instead, and he has like his chest puffed down. He's like really big and buff. He has a really happy Russian accent. You would know it if you saw it. Yeah, I think you would know it if you saw it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was in a drumsy for a while. That's one of the guys that really got me into VRChat.
Drumsy, the way I really enjoy the way he'll take. So what he'll do is he'll play his video, right, and then he'll pause and then do a zoom in or something, gray screen, and then have like a little like a news reporter thing, or like kind of like tell the audience like, but little did they know, blah 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 blah, and then it would shoot back into the video, and that's kind of nice because I think it kind of takes from like reality shows and like actual news reports, like in undercover investigations of like fraudulent businesses and stuff like that, where like they would pause the video footage,
Hey!
go back to the reporter, and then do that.
What are you growling at? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm streaming. Shh.
I don't think the dog understands that he's streaming.
It's okay. Sun's getting real low. The sun's getting real low. It's getting real low.
I think your dog got
low.
excited about Drumsy.
Yeah, my other dog came walking in, and this dog was sleeping, and they got surprised. These dogs are like background characters for my show now because not an episode goes by without the dogs barking. It's always barking. At times, it's not time for your dinner yet, yo. You got at least another fucking 38 minutes before it's time to feed.
But continue. What was your next question?
Oh no, yeah. But no, I mean, so like, what are some of the hurdles that you've come over in your work? Both professional and content creation.
In the real life, I didn't know how to back up a truck, and that plagued me for about 3 to 6 months, because I would always have to have my driver instructor kind of do it for me, until one day it clicked in my head that, okay, you're supposed to turn your tractor at 90-degree angle, and the trailer goes this way. Oh, okay. And then I started backing up. And then as far as like landing the job that I have now for FedEx, was mostly about staying with one job and getting the experience. Whereas what I did is that I I hopped between employer to employer to employer
Right.
until I got that amount of time, and that was really hard to do. In the content creation field, um, learning how to record was probably one of the biggest hurdles. Um, Learning how to record in VR, learning what audio sounds good. On like VR headsets, I remember recording with the Rift S that I had before I got my Index. A lot of times the microphone would just like that,
Oh no.
and I couldn't control it. I couldn't control it. I went on Amazon. I bought a Mod Mic wireless that connected to your headset like this, Bluetooth activated. Solved my problems there. Another thing was thumbnails. I didn't know. I don't know like how to put images together. I couldn't figure it out until someone told me about Canva. So get this right. I paid someone $110 to make 8 or 9 thumbnails for me. 9 images, right? You go into like Canva, you put some images together. That's $10, almost, well, 12, $13 per image per thumbnail, and you can pop out like, I don't know, one every 6 minutes, as long as you have all the images rounded up together. I had to pay someone to do that because I didn't know how to do it. That was a hurdle for me until I learned, oh, well, you can make an account on Canva, you can pay a subscription for it, and then you can make your own YouTube thumbnails. Okay, I gave it a try. It's like, okay, this is easy. Why didn't I do this before? I had no clue.
Well, shit.
I didn't know that you could do that. A lot of this is self-learning. I was scared to edit my own videos until I found Veed, which made the user interface really simple to use and made editing videos a breeze. Which I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still going through a learning hurdle with that. But and another hurdle is honestly, I'll be real with you. Full body is great to have. Full body is fantastic to have. It opens up a lot of opportunities, and it opens up a lot of doors. But it's not the end all be all. It is not. Full body does not. You can do. It depends on what your content is too, but you don't need full body to succeed. You don't need it. You do not need it, because you have someone like, what's his name, Seymour, that does interviews with people in VR. Has 1 million subscribers. He's a desktop user. He just interviews people on desktop, asks them questions, makes content off of that. You do not need full body to make content on this game. You don't need it. It's nice to have, and it opens up doors for you, but you don't need it. Oh man, he got me all worked up. I'm trying to think what else. What was another hurdle I overcame? I guess like gathering people. I don't really have a problem with that, whereas a lot of people do. I have a great group of friends that like I really love and I trust, and if I need them at any given point, as long as it's not like something extreme at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, like they'll log in. They'll help me make content. Like 5, 6 people will log in and help me make content, and that is something that a lot of people don't have access to. And of course, I have a great relationship with these people. That was something I didn't have before. So is the people. Sorry, give me one moment to think. I'm going through my head everything that has happened in the past year and a half. I can't really think of anything else right now. If you ask me this question like maybe an hour or two from now, I can give you an answer, but I can't. I know I have other things I overcame, but yeah, that's about it.
An hour to 2 hours from now, like a 3-hour interview. That's
yeah. I don't know. How long do you want to go?
But I mean, like, what are some things that you're looking forward to with like your content creation and work and stuff?
I am looking forward to finding like more funny moments and using them to not only to help whoever made the original video like there, but to help gain that traction. So like whoever views my content is like, oh hey, where did Two Fish get this thing from? Oh, he has like an original video like in his description. Click on that, it brings you to a TikTok. They get a like, they get a follow. So it's a nice healthy chain you know.
My dog my dog's like stepping in front of my tractors. Okay, lay down.
Aw.
He wants to eat early, but you already ate a boatload. You ate more than you were supposed to. Sorry, you were saying?
I'm trying to think. So in the future, I think I want to work on more massive, like, lengthy videos per se, instead of like short kind of like things. Because it's not only fun to complete those projects, but it's also fun to see others enjoy like really long projects like that. And it gives me something to do. And yeah, I just I really don't know what all I can get done that I want to get done, but I'll try my best. And I'll try to see if we can't get something rolling as far as, because I have all these ideas in my head. And I know half of these ideas will make it onto paper, and then half of those ideas on paper will make it into VRC footage, and then half of that footage will make it into like the final video, and then you know, it just keeps getting filtered. But yeah, well, let's just see what the future brings. I'm optimistic, but I'm not like hope for the best. But what's the other thing that you say? Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Yeah. What is it? Fear for the worst, but hope for the best.
Yeah. I guess I can live my life by that saying.
Yeah. So if you had like a piece of advice you would give to anybody who wanted to, was looking to figure out how to better themselves at work, or trying to figure out how to do content creation, and what would you say to those? What would you say to the people who needed some kind of inspiration or some advice on those sort of things?
Continue to upload, make mistakes, learn from mistakes. You're not going to be perfect when you start out, but if you don't start somewhere, then you have nothing to work with in the beginning. Just do it. Just like Shia LaBeouf says, just do it. Just stand up and just do it. Just fucking do it. That's all you gotta do.
Right. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. I don't know if I can play the opening song because I think it might have got moved during the setup, or the closing song, but I appreciate you coming out, man.
Oh yeah, no worries. Is there world music, or am I missing something, or is it on the
Oh
stream?
no.
I'm not watching the stream right now.
Usually at the end of my streams, I would play a closing song. I don't. Do I have it? I don't. Wait, do I? I don't think I have it. Unless I. Oh no, yeah, no, I do have it. I can play us out right now because I got my soundboard on. Yeah, I got my soundboard on. For Gore. I'm such a goofball. Hang on a second. See if I can. Yeah, I'll play us out right now. Just have to turn off. Come on, dog. Come on, homie. It's okay. You're all right. You're okay. My tracking's gonna mess up. Yeah, you gotta relax. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'll play. I'll play us. Okay. Yes, All give you attention here in just a couple of minutes. Hang on, relax. Oh my gosh, this friggin' doggy.
I think he got all excited.
Oh yeah, he's all kinds of excited now. But no, yeah, thanks for coming out. I mean, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
It's awesome. Yeah, man, it's awesome to have you. I definitely wasn't planning on doing one, but then Teddy's like, hey, you gotta check this guy out. And I'd met you before, but yeah, man. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
I wasn't streaming that whole time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What? Are you serious?
No, I'm just joking with you.